Okay, so good morning. Just want to comment on a couple things here, but maybe I'll preface with a story. Or, it's a story, it's a little saying I once heard. There's a legendary chassid named Rabbi J.J. Hecht. I'll post the video later for you guys if you want to see. And he said something to the extent, our Rebbe is a Rebbe which likes Maisa Bepoil. What's Maisa Bepoil mean? Actuality. This video, all the excuses and all, you tell the Rebbe excuses and you don't accomplish that's not acceptable. The question is, he said, use the word, it was ufgetan. Did you get it done or not? That's all. That's what the Rebbe cares about. There's something that the Rebbe said to do, whether it's Rambam, whether it's that's what it's saying, whether it's say that did you do it or you're not? All the excuse in the world. The Rebbe's not interested in excuses and everything. Oh. So Meshgacha Prat is the last thing we left off with. Was the thing of davening, where the Rebbe was very, very surprised. He said that this person would start davening on Shabbos close to 2 o'clock, and the Rebbe said, in my eyes, it's not a good rumor, and there's a difference between starting and on time and or starting at 2 o'clock. So the Rebbe advised you should ask elder Anash, ask all the Chassidim how to do it. What's so funny? Ask all the Chassidim. Let's say a person has an issue. What's someone laughing at? I teach Torah, I teach Halacha, I teach for Rebbe. As my story before, it's not the right way to say if we're not doing something correctly. Excuse and this and it's okay. The problem with that is once we start validating why we do something not correctly and we make it correct, then all of a sudden we keep doing it. Rather, we have to know what's truth, and we have to work on it. You can't get better at the truth if you're going to see what the Rebbe says to do. So the Rebbe says if you have an issue like this, I read the Rebbe's words. Ask advice of the elder Anash in your place, and they'll give instructions how to fix this in a way that you will not have to shorten the necessary preparations for the rite of davening or the davening itself. In any case, you should not start your davening after Chatzos. That completely is out of the question, to start it after Chatzos. And it's from the letter we said in Chov Beis Elul Tavshin Yud Beis, right? It's a Kodesh, a few other places also. So we left off on that. And then Rebbe Gazinski came to me yesterday. He was telling me there were certain discussions going around in Yeshiva. What's the correct thing to do when a person in a situation or not? So, I could tell you what the Rebbe says to do. That we spoke Friday night, a couple of Shabbosim about Yaskin at Siba. We're seeing that the Rebbe says not to do it after Chatzos. So I thought just maybe I'll bring out a couple things from the Rabbanan. I printed out last night a few things. There's a wonderful website called AskTheRav.com, which Rabbi Broin Shlita oversees. So he says, he asks these very questions. He says, if after a long night for Brengen and I wake up just after Chatzos, imagine a guy sleeps till after Chatzos, what's the halacha with Shacharis? So the answer is, says Rabbi Broin, and obviously he edited this, one may not daven Shacharis after Chatzos, after midday. If this happens as a result of your night Fabrengen, and it was a late Fabrengen, reconsider your participation in late Fabrengen. If someone's going to stay up so late that it's going to cause them to wake up that late, reconsider how you do it. Or come up with a strategy to be able to wake up on time. Make sure somebody, if you're going to do that, somebody's by your room and they're coming with water or negavas or whatever it may be. But waking up late is, according to Judaism, it's not acceptable. Note that waking up late also involves missing the time of the Shema and Mitzvah Deraisa, which is Mitzvah Deraisa. Okay, this person really slept late. So in practice, what do you do if you do wake up late? So you do all brachas can be recited. You're allowed to say morning brachas. Korbanos can be recited. Psukei de Zimra may be recited without Baruch Shamar. You can't do that. You can't do Yishtabach, and you can't do Birkas Krishma. Recite the 3 parts of Krishma. You can say. Then recite the Korbanos of Ashrei for Mincha, Shemona Esrei for Mincha. Meaning your first Shemona Esrei has to be for Mincha, not for Shacharis. Then you do Tachton, then you do Ashrei as a break, and then you do the second Shemona Esrei afterwards. And then you could do the normal end of Shacharis at the end. But that's what somebody should do if they do sleep by mistake that late and everything. And obviously, if it's a mistake, if it's on purpose, there's no such thing as tashluma. But the correct thing to do is, in other words, nobody's telling you don't daven, making up. Nobody's telling somebody who sleeps late don't daven. Chas v'shalom. We're telling you could daven, say brachas, say psukei zimra, say you could still say Shema Yisrael, you could still say Shema Nesser. Nobody's telling chas v'shalom don't daven and everything. But there's a certain way we daven. There's a certain way we daven, And the reason why we do it this way is because if we do it al pi halacha, what the Rabbanan tell us to do, then hopefully we're going to realize that we didn't make a good decision the night before. We praying too late, we stayed up too late, and we're going to want to change ourselves the next day. But if we keep just saying, I don't care what Shulchan Aruch says, I'll just do it the way I want to do it, then the next day we're going to do the same thing, because I didn't do anything wrong. I told myself it's okay, it's justified. But so besides what the Rebbe says to do, this is what Halacha says to do. That there's certain things you can say when you wake up late, and certain things you cannot say. And then I brought a second answer. Very interesting question. Can I answer a main to the brachas of a minyan, which is davening shachris after chasais? If I enter the shul where people don't know the halacha, and they make a complete minyan with Baruch Shamar, they're saying that, which the Rabbi Broin said not to do. They're saying Yishtabach, they're saying Bikas Krishma, and they're doing Shemin Esrei, and they're doing it with Shachris in mind, and it's after Chatzais. So the first question was, are they saying a bracha levatallus? Is the minyan doing? Let's say you go to 770 or at some other shul, I don't care where in the world, some shtibel, and it's 2 o'clock, and they want to make a Shachris minyan. So question number one, are they saying a bracha levatalla? Yes. Should we, one, respond to the Kedusha and the Amen? No. Question number 3, is it saying Hashem's name in vain if you say Amen? He says, no, it's not it's a main levatalla, which is similar to a main levatalla, a bracha levatalla. And it's a bracha per way. So you're not allowed to answer Amen to that. And is there a difference if the minyan of Shemon Esrei is decided before Mincha Gedayla? He says there's room to be lenient and answer Amen, but best to leave the room. If you see, like, for example, the latest time for Chatzais was 12:30, and 1 o'clock is Mincha, and then that half an hour they're making a minyan, there's room to be lenient to answer Amen, but best don't put yourself in the situation. And the last thing is, if they started before Chatzais, are you allowed to answer? He says, if the minyan completed the Shemon Esrei before Chatzais, and the Chazar Shas is after Chatzais, that's fine. That's not so much of an issue. That was the second thing. We'll do just one. I mentioned this one also. What do you do if Chatzais is fast approaching? Let's say a person is in a situation where Chatzais is 1 o'clock, and it's already 12:30 or something, 12:30 p.m. He's got a half an hour left, and it takes him a long time to daven.
Skip.
In an instance where davening is close to Chatzais, what should I skip parts of davening if I don't have enough time to do it, or would be preferred to daven very fast? So the Rabbi Broin writes, again his team, which put this together and he oversees, I must preface that it is never right to be in such a situation. Never right. That's what Torah says. And you must do everything at all costs to avoid the scenario. In an extreme circumstance, like Tzvi asked, when one already finds himself in a situation, it's called b'diavad, right? Meaning once in a while, a person by mistake, he should rush through the davening in order to say Shemon Esrei before Chatzais. If rushing will cause him to swallow words, then you skip, like you said. So you rush to make sure it's before Chatzais, and if rushing is going to cause you to swallow words, like not pronounce them clearly, then you skip. So you're right.
I was sick. It happened to me. I was sick. I had like 20 minutes before Chatzos.
So you rush or skip.
I asked the Rebbe. He said to jump.
That's what Allah. Now, if somebody wants to bring me a different source, I have no problem. I'm happy to see it and everything. But again, I like to teach truth. I like to teach what halacha says. I like.
You mind me asking?
You can ask.
When the Rebbe said to start with the Minyan,
yes.
And what happens after doesn't?
Yes.
So the Rebbe, l'cha'ira, is speaking about someone who is continuing to daven whatever time he finishes.
Yes. There's room to say that an ovid, but you have to understand what an ovid is. An ovid, if the minyan starts at a certain time, a servant of God, somebody who works really hard. He gets up early. He's doing mikvah. He's doing korbanos. He's doing chassidus. He's meditating, and he's still as the Rebbe told.
We have an Ivy right here.
We've taught many times he's doing everything to Yasklin and Tzibur, stuff at the Tzibur. Right? And then he goes further. Yes, I will admit that there are you don't have to be so concerned and everything, because he did everything correctly. But a person can't say that all of a sudden what it says in Shulchan Aruch doesn't mean anything. I can wake up whenever time I want, I'll go to sleep whenever time I want, and therefore I'll do everything. Because the problem when you tell yourself it's correctly, then the next day you do the same thing again. There's a certain honesty a person has to have, not justifying and saying. Now, if somebody wants to bring me a different source, I brought you from the Rebbe, what the Rebbe says, that we start with the Minyan. I brought you from Shulchan Aruch, from our Murder Asr of Crown Heights. If somebody wants to show me opinion from the Rebbe or a different Rav that says otherwise, I'm welcome to look at everything. But until I see something, when we teach a shkofa here, we have to teach what Shulchan Aruch says to do. We have to teach what the Rebbe says to do. And if somebody's not holding there yet, most importantly, they can't justify and say, well, this is okay, this is. They have to say, no, I have to change and figure out strategies that Rebbe said what to do. That we speak to other Hasidim, we speak to people how to correct this, how to make it. But the goal should be that our avodah, the way we act, what we do, aligns with the Rebbe's advice and aligns with halacha. Okay.
Yeshiva Torah Ohr of North Miami Beach.